Good evening, and we are live from the men's gymnasium located on the campus of East Los Angeles College here in wonderful Monterey Park for another edition of Husky basketball. It's day 2 of the 2024 Okawa Classic, and tonight we have your Huskies taking on the Wolverines of San Bernardino Valley College. I'm Albert Robles. With me, doing play-by-play, is going to be Noah Alvarez, and we're excited to bring you another exciting game. Noah, what do you expect to see with tonight's game?
Well, I think the Huskies are looking to get back on track. We mentioned yesterday how they're entering the tournament with a 4-9 record. They won yesterday. However, they played a lot of tough teams, and they've had a lot of losses against those tough teams. They played 8 teams in the top 25. They're 1-7 against those teams. They have a good chance to go 3-0. They have some favorable matchups against San Bernardino Valley today, and then Palo Verde tomorrow evening. You can also tune into that game on sportsnetusa.net. But hopefully that gets the confidence they need as they head into conference play.
Absolutely. So it really should be an exciting matchup between these two teams, and hopefully another win under Coach Bruce Turner's belt. I forget where the tally is. I'd have to talk to Surum, but I don't want to disrupt him on his vacation. But I know Coach Turner is on the hunt for win number 400.
He's 1 win away, so this is it'll be win 300.
300, there we go.
Yeah, he was 2 wins away yesterday. Got a win against Skyline College last night, and a win today would be put him at 300. So that would be a pretty cool accomplishment to have here on sportsnetusa.net.
Absolutely, and you know it's kind of funny because when we did the OCC game, Serwin was talking to me about it, and I think at the time we were like 4 wins away, something like that. Actually, that sounds about right. We were like 4 wins away because I think at the time we had only played like 2 games, and they're at like 296, something like that, if I recall specifically. And you're like, man, we could potentially have that key win come at home, and then sure they won those streaks of losses, but still a great opportunity to get that milestone win here at the Okawa Classic.
Yeah, he's been here for a long time. This is his 19th season, and of course the wins are important and what he's done as far as getting the teams out to the Final Four, the state Elite 8. He's also sent a lot of players to the next level, which I always think is important here to do at the community college level. And players that we've seen in recent years like Lupe Vasquez or Delilah Kimball Gray, but players in the past too that have also gone on to 4-year levels. So there's the tip, and it's won by ELAC. They're going to right to left on your screen, and the first jumper there by one of the Millinghouse sisters is no good. Wolverines in the black uniforms going from left to right here at the E-Arena. And it's day 2 of the Okawa Classic. Blocked there by Derica Millinghouse. Asia Harris pushing the tempo for the Huskies. She's the leading scorer. Zuniga will take a 3-pointer. Grabbed by Millinghouse. Mariah Mosley can't convert on the 2. Another second chance point. We saw that a lot last night against Skyline.
Yeah, East LA very good with obtaining the offensive rebounds and getting those second chance points, as Miracle Millinghouse puts one up for the first points of the night.
Yeah, first 3-pointer. They only hit 3 3-pointers last night against Skyline. They had, it was a 2-pointer. And they had 22 offensive rebounds last night against Skyline College. That was a big reason for their victory. And that's their 5th victory in the season, defeating Skyline 66-52. Now with the ball is Monique Lightfoot. She's the leading scorer for San Bernardino Valley, and she gets hit with a traveling violation. So the first turnover created by the Huskies defense. Leading scorer last night was Asia Harris with 19 points and 16 rebounds. Yes, 16. She didn't substitute out at all during the first half. What do you expect to see here from tonight?
I mean, we expect to see a lot of physicality from Asia Harris. She's a very aggressive player, especially when it comes to points in the paint. You can expect her to see hover around the top of the key and pretty much all over the lane.
Marilyn Jaquez takes the pull-up jumper, uses the bank, the glass to get it in. Things are all evened up at 2 apiece. 8:15 left to go here in the first quarter. 4 quarters here at the women's level here in the 3C2A. Off the curl, it's Miracle Millinghouse with the 2.
So far, Miracle 2 for 2 from the field.
They're going to call a moving screen on Kasaya Harper. Get you the starting 5 for the visiting Wolverines. Kasaya Harper, Dominique Butler, Marianne Palacios, Monique Lightfoot, and Marilyn Jacques. Starting 5 for the ELAC Huskies as you see Asia Harris. Missed the jumper, and it's Lightfoot that grabs the rebound, but Asia Harris is on the floor with Miracle and Dominica Millinghouse, Mariah Mosley, and Fernanda Zuniga. The same starting 5 that they had last night against Skyline College. Seems like the Wolverines are struggling to get into the rhythm of the offense early on in the shot clock. Only 10 seconds left now. Kicked out to Harper. Harper long on her 2-point attempt, and now Mariah Mosley pushing the tempo. And Mariah Mosley, the daughter of head coach John Mosley of the men's side. Second chance point there for Asia Harris, and again, using her height to her advantage. We'll see how the Wolverines adjust, but first points of the evening for Asia Harris.
Yeah, Miracle Millinghouse had the opportunity for a nice smooth layup. Put a little bit too much on it, bounced right off the rim, but luckily Asia Harris, leading scorer for this Husky team, able to get those second chance points.
Last year she was a freshman on this roster, averaged 12 points per game, was third on the team in scoring, missed there on the drive by Palacios. It'll be ELAC Husky ball. 6.5 minutes left to go. Again, Asia Harris was a freshman last year, now stepping up and being that team leader, not only in scoring, but doing a lot of other things as well off the court for the Huskies. Always love to see that growth and that jump as the Huskies do turn it over. Fight for the loose ball goes to the Wolverines. Butler has it now across the timeline. Wide open underneath on the left block for 2. It's Keziah Harper. Wolverines do have experience in their starting lineup. 4 of their 5 are returners, or sophomores from last year's roster. They're led by head coach Julia Smith, who's in her 3rd year. Asia Harris uses the glass. Nice touch and finish there by the sophomore. Harper hands it off to Palacios. Palacios is short on her long 2-pointer attempt. 8-4. Now pushing the tempo is Derica Millinghouse. She does have great vision. Gets it to her sister Miracle, and another 2-pointer there. Miracle leading the team now with 6 points on the evening. Seems like this one's going to be a little bit more higher scoring than it was last night.
Absolutely. Just barely 5 minutes into play, Huskies already have 10 points on the board for them. I think it maybe took them 8 minutes just to get that total in the first quarter yesterday evening.
Yeah, Skyline, a different opponent, a lot better defensively. They're also a team that's been to the playoffs the last 3 seasons, San Bernardino Valley, and a bit of a rebuild. Asia Harris trying to use the glass once again, a little too strong, but she grabs her own miss. A lot of traffic down there in the green, and it looks like it'll be a foul, a loose ball foul on Keziah Harper. It will be on the way up, so getting 2 free throws will be Asia Harris. At the line, she's 74% shooter on the season. Misses the first one. Again, the Huskies are 5-9 on the season. This is only their 4th home game. They've played a lot on the road. Have played in different tournaments and classics all across the state of California. Last weekend, they were at the Golden Gate Classic in the city of San Francisco. 11-4 is the score as Asia Harris goes 1 for 2 on the free throw line trip. 4.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Lightfoot swings it out to Butler. Substitution made here by the Wolverines. Tiana Padilla now into the game, wearing number 10. Lightfoot, the leading scorer, gets it stripped from Harris. A steal for the sophomore. Mariah Mosley ahead of the pack. Didn't grab it cleanly, and Zuniga nearly loses it here on the near side. This pass is intercepted by Padilla. Padilla, only one player to beat. Tries to bank it in, but too strong. Millinghouse going the other way with the Huskies. Will now slow it down. 11-4 is the score. Zuniga gets off a long 2. She's also strong on her 2-point attempt. The Huskies last night, Albert, Shot only 30% from the field. We'll see if they can improve that clip. On the season, they're shooting 34% from the field. Looks like Sarah Ramos is getting ready to check in, but there's a traveling violation on Marianne Palacios, a freshman from Banning High School, the only freshman in the starting lineup for the visiting Wolverines. So we're going to see some substitutions for head coach Bruce Turner. Kaden Seguchi is going to check in, as well as Sarah Ramos and Melanie Ramirez. We didn't see Ramirez or Seguchi last night against Skyline. Ramos was very efficient off the bench, especially in her drives. You see her go past Lightfoot there with the left hand, gets it to go, her first points of the evening.
Ramos, of course, very impactful with quite a few points off the bench last night, doing so already tonight.
She's really strong at going to her left as well. Skyline played a defense, too, where there wasn't a lot of help defense. If San Bernardino Valley does the same, expect Ramos to take advantage. Another three-point miss there by the Wolverines. 13-4 is the score. Mariah Mosley gets it to Dominica Millinghouse. Little scrum there near the free throw line, and the possession arrow is in favor of San Bernardino Valley. So Wolverine basketball. Destiny Melendez will check in, as well as Tamisha Martin. Two freshmen coming off the bench for head coach Julia Smith. Just over 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Wolverines getting into their offense. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Jaquez looking for an opening. Throws it up with the right hand. Floater no good. Ramos fights for the loose ball. It's going to be another jump ball, and that will be in favor of the ELAC Huskies.
Yeah, Ramos pretty much had that all in hand. And then coming and charging it and stripping away was number 3 for San Bernardino Valley, Marilyn Jaquez. Then that was forced the jump ball call.
Big opportunity here for some of the members of the bench to have an impact on this game. Asia Harris not on the floor. We saw her play the whole first half as a nice find to Sarah Ramos on the left block, and she uses the right hand that time to get it to go, but interested to see who steps up in scoring when Asia Harris is on the bench for the Huskies.
Gonna get a timeout called by San Bernardino Valley College. Pretty much a timely call if you ask me. Down 11 points with 1:46 left here in the first.
And thanks for tuning in to Huskies basketball. It's the Okawa Classic here on SportsNetUSA.net. During halftime tonight, we'll have our very own Corey Nalen and Mark Pavlovich during the halftime break to discuss all things 3C2A, scores around the 3C2A, as well as rankings and standings. And that'll be at halftime. We're currently in the first quarter, 1:46. Huskies jumped out to a big lead, 15-4. Leading scorer thus far for ELAC tonight is Miracle Millinghouse, leading the team with 6 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Asia Harris right behind her with 5, 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Again, Bruce Turner, I'm sure it's in the back of his mind, maybe in the very back, but he's currently sitting at 299 career wins while as head of the program here of the Huskies. You think they pop out a bottle of champagne?
I don't know. Maybe not at this level. Probably just open up maybe one of those Capri Sun juice packs that they got in the back room there.
Maybe nice balloons. I see a lot of balloons here for the Okawa Classic, or I don't know, maybe a little congratulations card, something. In his 19th season.
And, you know, like there are still a lot of games to be played this season, but you should be able to take the time to enjoy a lot of those milestone wins when you get them because, you know, only so many coaches get that chance to have a long career and to be good enough to actually get to that milestone.
Sarah Ramos grabs a rebound there, dribbles it off her foot, and so the Wolverines end up back in possession after the timeout. Again, the Wolverines are going left to right on your screen, and that's the first bucket we're seeing there for Monique Lightfoot. Again, averages 15 points per game on the season. She finished with 22 in yesterday's loss to LA Mission College. It was a heartbreaker for the Wolverines. Final score was 57-56. Now also on the floor is Amaya Scott for the Huskies. Here's a drive there by Seguchi. Kaden Seguchi, not to be confused with their sister Kara Seguchi, who played on the team the last 2 seasons. Now with the ball for San Bernardino Valley's Destiny Melendez. She gets it back in the corner, drives on Seguchi, loses it. We'll toss it back out to her teammates. 30 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. The runner no good. Again, fight for the loose ball there, and it's a scrum. Melendez at the bottom of it, and it'll stay in Wolverine possession. Coming back in is Marilyn Jacques, sophomore from Ukaipa. Averaged 7 points per game last year as a freshman. She will inbound it. About a 9-second differential between shot and game clock. It's an early shot there for the Wolverines, and so now the Huskies can hold it for the last one of the quarter. Again, Sarah Ramos dribbling it up for the Huskies. A bit of a smaller lineup here on the floor. They get it down to Amaya Scott. Amaya Scott tries to go baseline. They're going to say it's a jump ball. That's a block there by Monique Lightfoot. Lightfoot's a sophomore from Corona Centennial. She averaged 8 points per game last year as a freshman and 7 rebounds. 6.5 seconds left to go in the first. Mosley, step back, mid-range jumper, gets it to go from the free throw line. There's the horn. 17-6 is the final score here of the first quarter. Not to be confused with the final score of the game. Again, day 2 of the Okawa Classic here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles, bringing you the action this weekend. Tomorrow evening at 5 p.m., the Huskies will play their final game of the Classic this year and take on Palo Verde. Again, that game should tip off at 5 p.m. It's been an exciting weekend of action. A lot of different teams here than we've seen the past 2 seasons, but some familiar teams as well. Teams like Moore Park has been it every year that we've done the tournament, but teams like Skyline, LA Mission, and even Palo Verde are new teams to the Classic this year.
Yeah, and, missing this year, and I think, East LA a little grateful for it considering they saw them earlier this season. No OCC, no Butte this year. Some of the better teams all across the 3C 2A, but that's one thing that, you can really admire about Coach Schnurr, that he's not afraid to schedule those tough opponents.
Yeah, of the preseason, he's scheduled 8 games against the top 25. He's 1-7 against those teams, but at the end of the day, you're looking to see how your teams do against that top 25, and it always helps, too, to have a tough preseason schedule like they did last year. They finished with the below 500 record at 13-17. They were 500 during conference play at 4-4, but they still snuck into the playoffs as a 13 seed and won a first-round game against College of the Canyons before they lost to Orange Coast College in the second round. After this weekend, they'll have a couple weeks off before they host Long Beach City College. And on January 24th, they'll begin conference play here in the South Coast Conference in the North section. First conference game will come against Rio Hondo College. Again, that's on January 24th. Inbounding the ball here is San Bernardino Valley. Monique Lightfoot out on the floor with their teammates Marilyn Jacques, Tiana Padilla, Marian Palacios, and Destiny Melendez. Palacios has the ball, now gets it to Melendez. Motion offense here for the Wolverines. They're going to take a deep three-pointer. No good, but it goes right to Melendez. She misses the layup. Ends up in the hands of Mariah Mosley. 2-on-2 here for the Huskies. Three-pointer, no good. Rebounded there by the Wolverines. Pass intercepted there by Melanie Ramirez. Ramirez getting her first action of the weekend here at the Okawa Classic. Down low to Amaya Scott. Back out to Sarah Ramos. Her three-pointer no good. A lot of players hitting the floor. Good hustle. We might see another jump ball. Monique Lightfoot secures it and gets it for the Wolverines. Love to see the hustle by both teams early on in this one. A lot of contact there. Melendez will have a three-point opportunity after getting the layup to go with their left hand. So the foul is on Amaya Scott. Gets it back to a 9-point deficit for the visiting Wolverines. Checking in for the first time is Olivia Paramo. Paramo, a freshman from Pomona High School. Destiny Melendez misses the free throw, and there's a fight for the rebound, but it will be Husky ball as it's out of bounds on Tiana Padilla. Scott will check back in. Scott's another sophomore. There's 5 sophomores here on this roster. She's one of 3 sophomores that are returning from last year's team. The other 2 are the Millinghouse sisters, and their transfers from Cuesta College, as this one's going to be a foul called on the Wolverines. First team foul of the quarter. Suguchi bringing it up for the Huskies. 20 seconds left on the shot clock here. They're going right to left on your screen. There's a drive by Melanie Ramirez. They're going to say the Wolverines swiped across her arm. Marilyn Yakas, guilty of the foul.
Second team foul at the line for the Huskies, number 3, Melanie Ramirez, shooting 2.
So Melanie Ramirez will go to the line for 2. Hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. 2 of 6 at the line, misses the first. And this is only the 4th home game of the season for the Huskies. They started things off with the Moore Park Invitational to start the season, then played at the Comet Crossover at Palomar College, played in the Cypress College Charger Classic, then in the Golden Gate Classic, and in between that they had 2 home games, one against Orange Coast and one against West LA. Three-pointer missed there by the Wolverines, and Taguchi grabs the rebound. Nice cut there by Paramo, and she gets the assist via Maya Scott. 2 points for the Huskies.
Really great ball movement there by East LA to get those points in the paints for Paramo.
Going back to earlier in the season, they took on Orange Coast back on November 26. You were there for that one, Albert. What did you see from the Huskies early on in that contest?
I mean, there was a lot of aggressive offense between those 2 teams. Like, it was really, really hard fought altogether, but, you know, they just couldn't really get it done in the second half against Orange Coast. It was really tight that first half, but, you know, come the second half, you know, Coach Samaji said, you know, champion of 3C2A, she knows how to get her team and make those adjustments, and that's exactly what they did. Come out into the second half and just really dominated control and just really used the size difference between the 2 teams roster-wise, and just really was good on using the full court press. East LA had really problems advancing the ball past half court, and thus had problems getting more points on the board for themselves.
But that's one thing, as you mentioned, they were close in the first half with the Huskies. That's something that head coach Bruce Turner and the coaching staff can go back to throughout the season and say, hey, this is what we do against really good teams and how we can be successful against those good teams. But you can also go show the second half and be like, hey, this is what we do bad against the good teams, and this is what we got to clean up going forward, especially if they want to make another run in the postseason. Three-pointer there by the Wolverines, no good, and that one bounces, unfortunately, off the foot of Amaya Scott. So it'll remain Wolverine basketball here on the right side of your screen. Checking back in is Kasaya Harper, freshman from San Bernardino High School. It's day 2 of the Okawa Classic here on SportsNetUSA.net. Monique Lightfoot's going to take a three-pointer, a long 3, long rebound, goes to Melanie Ramirez. Ramirez tried to throw it off one of the Wolverine players, but ended up bouncing off of her in Huskies possession, as Oso Lopez now into the contest. So a chance for some different players here for the Huskies to step up. Looked like Melanie Ramirez's foot was on the line. Oso Lopez tries to save it. Wolverines basketball going the other way now. Jaquez to Lightfoot. And Lightfoot's not shy to take that shot. She gets her own rebound, goes and uses the glass, leaves it too strong. 20-8 is the score in advantage of the Huskies. Lopez misses the 2, tipped out of bounds. We're going to say off the Huskies.
You know, it's just off the hands of Paramo, out of bounds. Just couldn't quite rein it in.
Checking back in is Derica Millinghouse. Going to transfer from Cuesta College. In that season with Cuesta, granted it was only 3 games, but she averaged 21 points per game in those 3 games. Cuesta didn't have enough players to continue the rest of the season. Had their season cut short. Monique Lightfoot has possession now. Gets her shot blocked by Sarah Ramos. Good individual defense. Fernanda Zuniga checks back in, and she gets trapped. Loses the ball to turnover quickly for the Huskies.
And Lightfoot, she's kind of like tending to her left eye a little bit. Maybe she got a small finger poke or maybe some dust particles in her eye a little bit. So she'll come to the bench just to get a little bit of a breather, see if she can't get checked out.
Tiana Padilla now into the game for her. An inbound play for the Wolverines in the black uniforms. They get it down low to Dominique Butler. She has the sides advantage over Sarah Ramos. I believe that was a double dribble, and they do call it Husky basketball. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Second quarter of action. Game number 3 of the day. There was 4 games yesterday. Will only be 3 today and tomorrow. Derica Millinghouse gets it stripped from her, but grabs her own miss, and she puts it back up for 2. Both her and her sister now have combined 8 points on the evening. Her sister Miracle with 6 thus far. 22-8 is the score. Down low all by herself. Dominique Butler misses the layup, electing not to use the backboard, and that time it gets swatted by Sarah Ramos once again. Fernanda Zuniga finds Paramo. Paramo to Ramos to Millinghouse. No good. Rebound there by Melendez. And there's a player still down on the floor for San Bernardino Valley. I believe that's Dominique Butler, the center from John W. North High School. As the trainer here for ELAC, checking in on Butler. Hope she's okay. She rolls onto her backside now. Again, 22-8 is the score here. 4:49 left to go in the second quarter. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to the Okawa Classic here on SportsNetUSA.net. Remember, at the halftime break, we'll have Corey Nalen and Mark Pavlovich to discuss all things 3C2A. Go ahead.
I did get a bit of an update from Corey just a moment ago. They were having some technical difficulties with park sets. It'll just be Corey for the time being unless they manage to get something figured out, but just Corey for right now.
Okay, just Corey Nalen as we did last night. And here on SportsNetUSA.net. While we have this break in the action and the player gets attended to, let's go ahead and update you from the scores from earlier today at the tournament. LA Mission defeated Palo Verde 64-62. Close game there, and LA Mission pulls out another here at the Okawa Classic. Then Moore Park College just defeated Skyline College 70-58. Again, Moore Park, one of the best teams here at the Okawa Classic this season. They're currently ranked 5th in the latest 3C2A rankings. A couple other games going on around the 3C2A. Cypress College up on Mission College, 58-38. That one's at the San Jose City College tournament. Also ending earlier today, Pasadena City College defeated Lassen, 55-46. Play has resumed here. Wolverines have the basketball. Long two-pointer there. They like to settle for a lot of those long twos. Looks like there was going to be a jump ball call, and now there's a foul as Melendez wrestled the ball away from Lopez. And now Wolverines will go to the line for 2. So Dominique Butler was able to walk off under her own power, and kind of similar like we saw Lightfoot holding her eye. Hope she's okay, but looks like she'll be able to return back to the game. Melendez makes the first free throw. Missed there, and it's grabbed by Millinghouse. She's out on the floor with Asia Harris, Paramo, Lopez, and Zuniga. Pass a little too hot for Zuniga to handle, and to steal for Monique Lightfoot. 22-9 is the score advantage, Huskies. Tiana Padilla couldn't locate that one as she was all churned around. It'll be Husky basketball here on the far side.
Yeah, quick back-to-back turnovers between these two teams. Padilla in a good position for the pass, but clearly wasn't aware that it was coming to her.
So Derica Millinghouse will bring it up for the Huskies as they get into their offensive play set here in their half-court set. Asia Harris going right, uses the glass to perfection. 2 points for Harris. Seven points now on the evening, 3 of 6 from the field with 1 free throw. Monique Lightfoot can't find an opening as much of the Wolverines have struggled here offensively. Still have yet to reach double digits. 24-9 is the score. They're going to call a foul on Derica Millinghouse as she went for the swipe on Monique Lightfoot. 13 foul on the Huskies. It wasn't a shooting motion, though, so it will be free throws for Monique Lightfoot. In yesterday's game against LA Mission, she went 7 of 10 at the line. Again, finished with 22 points and 11 rebounds in 37 minutes. Makes the first. Coming into the game now is her sister, Miracle Millinghouse. So both Millinghouse sisters on the floor for the Huskies. Derica to Miracle on the left side, leaves it short. Paramo grabs the rebound. Good hustle by her. Derica comes out with it to Asia Harris. She likes that mid-range, and she splashes it from the left elbow. 16-point lead with 3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Melendez picks up her dribble there, and the jumper no good in transition. She grabs her own miss after it was tipped away from the Huskies. Good hustle there by Melendez to stay with it. Getting the Huskies into their half-court offense. Paramo. Looks like the Wolverines are going with a little bit of a zone. Miracle has it now to Asia Harris. Harris on the right block. Too strong on the glass, but Miracle was there for the rebound. Didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock did not reset. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock here for the Huskies. Let's see what they do here out of the inbounds. Asia Harris. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound goes to Padilla. Streaking ahead is Melendez all by herself for the Wolverines, using the left hand on the right side. Gets it to go, and that's going to force head coach Bruce Kerner to take his first timeout of the evening. The Huskies are still in control with a 12-point lead, but that lead has narrowed quite a bit in the second quarter. And next, tuning in to the Okawa Classic here on SportsNetUSA.net. Day 2 of the Okawa Classic. ELAC Huskies lead 26-14. They're shooting 38% from the field, 12 of 31. They still have yet to make a three-pointer. In fact, both teams have yet to make a three-pointer. We saw a little bit more three-pointers in last night's game against Skyline College. Yesterday, during the Okawa Classic, it was LA Mission and San Bernardino Valley who kicked things off. LA Mission came out on top 57-56. Moore Park then defeated Long Beach City College, who was only here for Friday. And the Moore Park Raiders came out victorious 55-51. Two teams battling in the top 25. Palo Verde then defeated Oxnard College 58-46. Oxnard College only was in the tournament this weekend for one day as well on Friday. And in the nightcap yesterday, ELAC defeated Skyline 66-52. Despite the 14-point victory, it was a much closer game, and the Huskies did pull away late in that fourth quarter to win by double digits. After the timeout, both Millinghouse sisters are on the floor with Zuniga, Asia Harris, and Mariah Mosley, so back to that starting five. Huskies going from right to left on your screen. Asia Harris gets it on the right block. Partially deflected, but grabs the miss. Misses the second try, and going the other way with it is Jaquez. Jaquez pushing the tempo. Grabs the miss of her teammate. Shot clock did not reset. Lightfoot. Now drives, gets it poked away from her. It's a steal for the Huskies. Zuniga racing down. Gets it to Harris. Harris diving and had contact all over her shoulder. Now she's grabbing her head. Might have got poked in the eye by Monique Lightfoot. Third team foul. Both teams with 3 team fouls. Haven't seen a whole lot of fouls called, but not as an aggressive as a game as we saw played yesterday between the Huskies and Skyline College. Zuniga gets it off the inbound. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. 1.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Miracle takes the three-pointer from the top of the arc. Gets it to go. First three-pointer of the evening for either team. Let's see how the Wolverines respond. Mosley and Harper are going to end up tied up with the ball. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Wolverines. So it'll stay there on the right side. Harper to Lightfoot, takes a three-pointer, hits the top of the backboard. Now Derica Millinghouse streaking above the pack for the Huskies, and it's stripped away by Lightfoot, but not before the foul is called. Second personal foul on Monique Lightfoot. Keziah Harper also has 2 personal fouls. No one in foul trouble for the Huskies. And under a minute left to go here from the E-Arena. Day 2 of the Okawa Classic. Remember, at halftime, we'll have Corey Nalen talking 3C2A during the halftime break. Derica Millinghouse connects on the first. 2 for 2 on the trip there. The Huskies shot from an efficient clip last night at the line, 21 to 28, 75% on the evening. Derica Millinghouse finished the game with 8 points, but 13 rebounds and 6 assists to go along with 6 steals. So filling up the stat sheet in a lot of different categories. Melendez with the ball for the Wolverines, gets a screen from her teammate, drives to the right, can't get it to go, grabs her own miss, and we've seen that now a couple times. Destiny Melendez trying to do it all herself here. With Monique Lightfoot not able to score as high of a clip as she usually is. Someone's got to step up, and for the Wolverines, it's been Destiny Melendez. There's a fight for the loose ball there, ends up in Wolverines' possession, and the shot clock is turned off. Back into Melendez's hands, she kicks it out to her teammate, Palacios. Palacios hits the first three-pointer for the Wolverines. 10 seconds left. The Huskies can hold for the final shot of the first half. Derica Millinghouse kicks it out to Seguchi. Seguchi from the corner, off the backboard. There's the horn. Clocks read 0. Huskies have a 31-19 lead entering halftime break. Hey, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to the Okawa Classic. It's day 2, game number 3.
And that's what we like to hear and like to see at the Okawa Classic, the 13th Okawa Classic. Today, the second day, day 3 is tomorrow. And now these first 2 days have been very, very exciting as we've seen quality action, 2 teams in the top 25. As we said yesterday, appearing in the Classic, led by Moore Park, the number 5 team in the rankings. And so you sit here and you look at the Okawa Classic, you look at East LA in that first half of play, a much more efficient first half played for East LA over San Bernardino Valley, 31-19. They started sluggish yesterday, but today they came out well. They came out on fire, shooting 36% in that first half of play, while only holding the Wolverines to 23.5% and holding them. Well, neither team could shoot three-pointers that well. Both hit one in the first half, 1 for 5 for the Huskies, 1 for 10 for the Wolverines. Both got to the free throw line pretty much in the first half. 5 for the Wolverines, 6 for the Huskies. And that's one of those things where you continue to throw the ball inside to your top players. Turnovers, pretty efficient for the first half of play after watching both teams play yesterday. 8 apiece total rebounds. And this is where the Huskies really came out to play. 31 total rebounds in the first half. They worked their height advantage to their advantage. 11 offensive boards of the 31. And what they did today, more than anything in that first half of play, is they shared the ball. 11 assists for the Huskies and only 3 for the Wolverines. But something like sharing the ball, crucial when you want to get up there and compete for a playoff run. And again, this is a team that will be able to compete in the playoff run in the South Coast Conference. They had 7 bench points to the Wolverines 9. Second chance points, they had 9 coming with those offensive rebounds. And again, the points in the paint is really, really where they did the damage. 18 points in the paint to 12 for the Wolverines. And the Milling Houses and Asia Harris led the way in the first half. Miracle Millinghouse had 9 points, the only 3 in the first half for the Huskies. Also 6 rebounds. Asia Harris, we'll talk a little bit more about her later on in just a couple moments. 9 points, 6 rebounds for 4 of 11 shooting. And Derica Millinghouse, who was 1 of 4, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. She is one of the most versatile players that we've seen in the 3C2A, and definitely will be an all-conference performer. Whether that will be a first team or a second team all-conference performer, we'll see her there along with Asia Harris, who will be a first team all-conference performer in the SCC, her second such award or recognition, as I should say. San Bernardino Valley, they were led by Destiny Melendez, who had 9 points. Their leading scorer Monique Lightfoot, only held to 3 points, 1 field goal, 1 free throw, 1 of 6 shooting. She did have 5 rebounds as well. You have to pay attention. She also had 2 fouls. So if they work on the inside, they can get her into foul trouble. So that's the first half stats for both these squads. San Bernardino only put up 6 points in the first quarter, 17 for East LA, but they really responded well in the second quarter, putting up 13 points. But East LA still outscored them 14-13 in that second quarter of play. And Noah mentioned a little bit about what happened earlier in today's matchups in the Okawa Classic. And we'll get to those as we have LA Mission downing Palo Verde 64-62. Palo Verde drops to 2-10 overall, and LA Mission is 7-6 on this young season. Leading the way for Mission was again Lily Cornejo. If they have an all-tournament team, which they will, she will definitely be on her second 20-point outing of the tournament. 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. She threw in 1 steal as well. Crystal Pace had 13 points and 4 assists. And Crystal Pineda, she had 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And the big player came off the bench to do well. Unique Dortillo, 8 points and 15 big boards to lead the way for the Eagles. And Palo Verde, they were led by Brooklyn Thomas, who will also be an all-tournament team if they take 1 player from each squad. She had another 20-point outing, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Kylie Benali had 16 points and 5 rebounds in their loss. Also, the second game of the tournament on the second day, as Oxnard and Long Beach City College, they only played on Friday. So that second game belonged to Moore Park and Skyline. Moore Park 11-4. Another contender to go ahead and maybe make that grade 8. Mark Pavlovich says Moore Park is that team. What you say, Mark? Do they make it? They make it, as you heard from the old guy, the genius over there, Mark Pavlovich. 70 to 58 over Skyline. They improved to 11-4. Skyline 5-11 on the season. They were led by Lamani Tillman with 16 points and Jasmine Garcia 12 points and 10 rebounds. Moore Park, Alyssa Saldana 17 points and 7 steals in that ball game. She's on her way to be an all-conference performer in the Western State Conference. And Marion Boko 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. They shot 41% to lead the way in that victory. So those are the first 2 games you're caught up with. You're caught up at halftime with the score for East LA and San Bernardino. We wanted to have a little discussion about the SCC conference, the 3C2A conference, a little bit with Mark Pavlovich, but since he's not joining me at this time, we'll go to yesterday's day 1 versus East LA versus Skyline. Just to recap, is Asia Harris had 19 points and 16 rebounds. She's a double-double machine. Derica Millinghouse, 8 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals in the game yesterday against the Trojans. And Miss Ramos had 16 points and 6 assists. Millinghouse and Harris, they look to be on their way to making that tournament team for this 3-day classic. San Bernardino, they were led by Monique Lightfoot. As we said, she only had 3 points in the first half. She had 22 and 11 yesterday. Butler had 10 and 11, and Melendez had 11 and 6 versus LA Mission in that loss. So East LA doing a good job of the most potent player again for the Wolverines in that first half of play. And let's see if they can keep it up. As at the half, they are up 31-19 over San Bernardino. So you look around this classic again, 4 top 10 teams last year, including the 2-time defending champions OCC, 2 top 25 teams this year, Moore Park and Long Beach before they bowed out for today and the rest of the weekend. But again, this is a tournament that continues to get the best talent and the best teams in their preseason soiree. Asia Harris made an all-tournament team last year, so she'll make another one this year. And we'll get to those top players. She's one of the top players in the South Coast Conference. Last year, she was second, or actually this year, she's second in rebounding in this conference, 18th in the state in rebound for the Huskies. Derica Millinghouse and Mariah Mosley, they look to be all-conference performers, whether it's first team or second team. Look for those names. Also in the South Coast Conference, number 2 ranked Mount San Antonio, Deja Mitchell is the key player, the reigning best SoCal player from last year in all SEC. She comes back for Mount Sac, who's really on a mission, or they think they're on a mission, along with Talia McPherson, with College of the Sequoias from up north. They're the 2 teams who really feel like they missed out the last couple years in winning a state title. LA Trade Tech, Serenity Johnson, she's averaging 24.5 points per game. That's good for second in the SCC. Actually, that's second in the 3C2A, excuse me. And last year, she was second in points per game in the 3C2A. So consistent player is Serenity Johnson out of LA Trade Tech. Rio Hondo's Alexia Valencia, Jaden Hill Nasarati, both average 11.2 points per game for Rio Hondo, who is a team that's they're going to be looking upward after a 4-win season last year. They're already at 5 wins, so Rio Hondo is moving ahead and being that quality program that they want to be again. Pasadena rounds out the South Coast Conference in their side of the division. Monica Menzies averages 17 points, and Lindsay Valverde averages 17 points, 8 rebounds. So East LA has a good chance behind Mount Sac. Mount Sac is clearly the favorite, clearly the best team. But East LA has a real significant chance with the talent they have, and they seem to be getting better and moving along and ascending right before conference play. They have a great chance to take second place in conference. Hey, heck, why not take first place with a couple upsets? They have that type of talent and then get to the playoffs. And so that's the South Coast Conference that East LA is in. And you want to talk overall about some of the players and teams in the 3C2A. Ivy Gonzalez is the only team only player, I should say, from a top 15 team that averages in the top 5 in points per game in the state. She averages 23.5, which is third in the state. Throw along 10 rebounds as well. And San Bernardino Valley's Marilyn Jaquez averages 5 assists per game. That's fifth in the 3C2A, averaging 5.5 assists per game. So that's quality play there. But going back to Ivy Gonzalez as a player and going back to College of Sequoias, there's a kind of a reason that College of the Sequoias is the #1 team in the state and undefeated. They're first in field goal percentage, first in three-point percentage, and first in points per game. Mark Pavlovich told me a little bit earlier today that he didn't see too many teams shooting that well. Well, College of the Canyons is the one team that does 48.7% field goal percentage on the season and 36.5 three-point percentages from 3 points, and that's first in the state, and 83.1 is first in the state as well. But what you notice is their high scorer averages 17 points. Their next highest scorer averages 16 points. So the more balanced you are in the 3C2A, well, the better off you will be based on the top teams in the 3C2A. And that's really something that corresponds not just to College of the Sequoias, that corresponds to the top 10 teams in the state. So you look at Mount Sac, they are a team that also has that capabilities to be well-rounded with Deja Mitchell. You look at Orange Coast College, they lose 3 to 4 players. But again, they seem to just reload with Sammy Doucette, the head coach for them. And reloading at Orange Coast, she has a, let's say, familiar with that because of the type of player she was at Vanguard University. A couple of the surprise teams that we look forward to. We saw Santa Barbara play last week in the Colleen Riley tournament, and they're a team that really has the chance to surprise some teams. We were talking to Mark and a couple others, Ryan Osborne, who we were at the tournament, and Santa Barbara has the inside-outside combination that can really, really play well moving down. So thanks a lot. That's halftime. So back to the guys. Noah, Albert, back to you.
Thank you, Corey, for that fantastic breakdown. We're back here live at the E Arena, located on the campus of East Los Angeles College here in Monterey Park. I'm Albert Robles. With me, Noah Alvarez, bringing you the play-by-play action as we begin the second half.
Huskies currently up 31-19, 9.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Remember, folks, Coach Bruce Turner sitting at 299 career wins while at the Huskies program. So he's 1 win away from 300. Something to keep an eye on. The Huskies led as much by 17 during the first quarter of action. However, they've seen that gap close just a little bit. 12-point lead here for the Huskies at the beginning of the third. Harris gets double teamed. Huskies now going from left to right on your screen. It's a three-pointer for Miracle, and she splashes it in. Also want to shout out Eric Owens. He was able to identify both Miracle and Derica Millinghouse. They played last year at LA Pierce College. Sent me the information via Instagram during the halftime break. So again, shout out to Eric Owens for the information. Must have had 2 other Millinghouse sisters over at Cuesta College. As Dominique Butler back into the game. We saw her leave the game under her own power. Good to see her back on the court for the Wolverines. No Monique Lightfoot at the moment. I will get you the 5 on the floor for both teams. Mariah Mosley misses the 3. Both Millinghouse sisters are on the floor for the Huskies, along with Asia Harris and Fernando Zaniga. Destiny Melendez will take a 2-pointer. She leads the team with 11 points now. She's out there with Kasaya Harper, Dominique Butler, Marianne Jacques, and Marianne Palacios. So Huskies have the ball, leading by 13 now. Asia Harris, turnaround jumper, no good. Fading away Pushing the tempo now is Palacios. Palacios for the Wolverines gets it blocked by Harris. Yesterday, Harris didn't finish with any blocks, Albert, but she did impact a lot of shots down low. She finally gets a block here this weekend.
Yeah, she made that really good read on Palacios. Looked like she was about to do a Euro step, but it was really just more of like a pace stutter, and Asia Harris just read it perfectly and just said, not today, brought that ball down.
Mosley ahead of the pack for the Huskies. Too strong on the layup. Miracle grabs the rebound. It was a steal for the Huskies off the inbound pass. Awkward shot there, and Mosley gets it to go after getting hit. It looked like in the face and neck area. An opportunity of the old school three-point play. 7.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Mariah Mosley is a freshman from Village Christian High School on the season. Shooting 76% from the free throw line and knocks down the free throw there for the three-point play. Back to a 16-point lead. The largest was 17 for the Huskies at one point. Outscored the Wolverines 17-6 in the first quarter, but the Wolverines much better in the second. Huskies only outscoring them by 14-13. After the deflection there, Derica Millinghouse has it, pushing the tempo, gets it to her sister. Wild pass there, heading our direction. Luckily, it was low enough to where the...
I was ready for it.
Yeah, we were ready. We've had some close calls here with sportsnetusa.net. Again, thanks for tuning in to the Okawa Classic Day 2. Tomorrow's action will get started at 1 p.m. The Huskies will play at 5 p.m. We'll be streaming that game here as they'll take on Palo Verde College for the final day of action. Oh, nearly over and back there, and Derica Millinghouse is fouled. She crashes to the floor.
And that was a good heads-up steal by Derica Millinghouse. She read the lob pass coming off of Dominique Butler for an easy takeaway.
Both Asia Harris and Miracle Millinghouse are leading the team in scoring, but I think Derica Millinghouse has had the biggest impact. If you take a look at her stat sheet, she has 4 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. So doing a lot of little things for the Huskies. Down low there on the left side with the right hand. Not an easy thing to do. And it's an 18-point lead for the Huskies. 6.5 minutes left to go in the third.
And that was really an impressive shot there by Miracle Millinghouse because it was really her back was towards the basket. And with her right hand kind of throws it up. A little bit of like uneven offside of her body. Just really impressive way to manipulate that ball.
That time Derica Millinghouse is guilty of the poke there as she got Marilyn Jacques in the face. A couple players in the face today. Of course, none of them intentional, just nature of the sport. It's a contact sport. Jacques will inbound here right next to the table. Partially deflected by Zuniga. Melendez will get it on the inbound. She's leading the team in scoring. Misses a floater there with the left hand. Love the confidence that Destiny Melendez plays with as a freshman. Now guarding Zuniga, who has the ball. Mosley swings it. Melanie Ramirez into the game for the Huskies. Harris going right again. Partially deflected, but she's able to maintain possession and bank it off the glass.
And that's just a credit to Asia Harris's physicality. Just makes a nice run, splits the defenders for an easy, lovely bank shot.
11 points on the evening for Asia Harris. Destiny Melendez has the ball, running the point guard position. Didn't start the game, but starting the second half, she gets it stolen from Asia Harris. Harris one-on-one with Butler to beat. Missed there. Miracle had the rebound. Melanie Ramirez chases the deflection. And so the Huskies will remain in possession. The shot clock did not reset. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. A little bit of crowded there, and Melanie Ramirez gets the ball stolen from her. Palacios going the other way with it for the Wolverines. Step through there by Palacios, gets blocked. Ahead of the pack now is Mosley. Mosley by herself lays it up off the glass. Timeout called here by head coach Julia Smith in her third year as the head coach of the San Bernardino Valley College program.
And a great adjustment there by Mariah Mosley on that layup attempt. First step not too long ago, put a little bit too much on it, couldn't quite control her momentum this time. Wide open, Butler maybe had a chance to make a play on it, but Mosley kind of stuck with it, made a much more controlled finesse shot.
We've seen a few players here this weekend struggle with those fast break layups. Sometimes their momentum is going too fast. You have to learn almost how to slow yourself down in air as you try to scoop that layup up. I believe it was Serena Mazzetta last night for Skyline College that missed at least 3 layups from point-blank range. Nobody around her, but she just kind of rushed herself.
And we were watching her like in the game before this one earlier today. It seemed like she was struggling with that same thing, but she was at least improved from what we saw last night.
And you love to see the improvement. Sometimes it's all about reps, especially for the freshmen here at this level. A lot of them coming straight from high school.
And that's really just how you kind of learn that development, to kind of take and transition your momentum from horizontal to vertical.
So on the inbound here for the Wolverines, it's Destiny Melendez on the floor with Monique Lightfoot. Jaquez has the ball. Palacios also on the floor along with Tiana Padilla. That's the 5 coming out of the timeout. Turn around there, off the glass, too short, and Zuniga going the other way with it. Sarah Ramos checked into the game for the Huskies. Floater there with the right hand by Zuniga. She gets her first points of the evening. She's on the floor with Melanie Ramirez. Ramos, who gets the block. Miracle Millinghouse and Mariah Mosley. Oh, collision there. Poked away by the Wolverines. Tiana Padilla is going to take a long 2. No good.
Good control there by Zuniga to keep the ball inbounds and with East LA.
Huskies have numbers. Melanie Ramirez has a wide open 3 left wing. Leaves it short. Huskies shooting a little bit better from 3. Still not attempting a whole lot. It's not their game. They're 2 of 9 now from the 3-point range. Wolverines are 1 of 12. Tiana Padilla had it at the right elbow, driving right. Tough shot, fading away from Miracle Millinghouse. Good individual defense there to make a tough shot. Sarah Ramos takes the long 2 and gets it to go.
And a great awareness there by Ramos. Doesn't rush the shot, takes her time, plants her feet, fires away.
The biggest lead here of the evening for the Huskies, 26 points, just over 3 minutes left to go in the third. Destiny Melendez gets fouled, hard contact there. Melanie Ramirez not happy with the call. Again, both Ramirez, Asia Harris, and Amaya Scott were the trio last year as freshmen here for head coach Bruce Turner. Last year's team was led by Lupe Vasquez, who's now playing at University of Hawaii Pacific. Led the team in scoring, 23 points. I believe in that first round game against College of the Canyons, she put up an impressive 39 points in that first round victory for the ELAC Huskies, as the first free throw by Destiny Melendez is good. Were you there at that first round game against College of the Canyons?
I don't believe I was.
Second free throw is good by Melendez. Seguchi back on the floor for the Huskies, along with Ramos, Miracle Millinghouse, Melanie Ramirez, and Fernando Zuniga. Miscommunication there as Zuniga was cutting in and Seguchi threw it out of bounds, but it was deflected out by the Wolverines.
It might have been. I honestly don't remember.
Sarah Ramos going to drive towards the middle using that left hand she likes to use. Missed there. Miracle Millinghouse will get it to Ramirez. Long on her 3-pointer. It's Jaquez who finds the loose ball on the rebound. Ahead to Palacios. Dumps it off for Melendez. Melendez putting the team on her back, now has 15 points on the evening.
And a great job by Palacios to make that extra pass to find Melendez.
Very unselfish play there by Palacios. She could have easily taken the layup herself. Destiny Melendez leads all scorers here. She definitely had a swagger and confidence to her during warm-ups. Didn't think she was going to drop this many points as Miracle Millinghouse responds with a 3. 25-point lead for the Huskies. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the third. Miracle perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc this evening. She's had all 3 3-pointers for ELAC tonight. Partially deflected there by Zuniga, but they say she slapped the arm as well. Going to the line is Marianne Palacio. Seeing the Wolverines a little bit more aggressive here, willing to drive the ball in the second half versus settling for those tough contested two-pointers that we saw a lot of in the first half. Right now the Huskies are winning the rebounding margin 29-18. Ramos grabs the miss, so 1 of 2 on the trip, but both teams have 11 turnovers. Seguchi using her speed, gets it poked away. Turnover forced there by the Wolverines defense. And San Bernardino Valley, 3-9 entering tonight's game. Destiny Melendez grabs another rebound and goes back up for it. 17 points for the freshman from Rialto, California. This one's stolen by Palacios. Palacios by herself lays it in. A rare turnover there, and it's back to a 20-point lead for the Huskies. Still in control. Huskies are poised to bring the 300th win here to head coach Bruce Turner. And they're going to say Melanie Ramirez traveled. So a little bit of momentum here for the Wolverines.
It might have been just some slight movement of her pivot foot there.
Picking it up just a tad and checking in now is Oso Lopez. And no Asia Harris, no Derica Millinghouse. Who will provide the scoring for the Huskies on the floor? Monique Lightfoot gets this one blocked by Miracle. It goes to Melendez, though. Shot clock did not reset. We're under a minute left here in the third. Lightfoot with good positioning, but blocked once again by Miracle Millinghouse. Huskies slow things down. Sarah Ramos going to drive the lane with the right hand. Her floater's too strong. 30 seconds left. 5-second differential between the shot and the game clock. Padilla uses the glass on the right side. 50-32 is the score here in this one. Final 12 seconds left of the third quarter. Huskies can hold it for the last shot here. Expect them to do so. Zuniga in the corner. 3 seconds left. Miracle gets it. Trapped immediately. Melendez falls to the floor. 0.9 seconds left. Technically enough for the Huskies to get off the shot. I believe you need 0.4 seconds or 0.3 to get off a shot.
I think about 0.3 is all they really need.
There's the heave there by Fernanda Zuniga, and she can't get it to go. But the score after 3 quarters of action, 50-32, advantage your ELAC Huskies. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to the Okawa Classic, day 2 of the action. Joined alongside Albert Robles. Again, tomorrow the Huskies will take on Palo Verde College. Tomorrow, tipping off at 5 p.m. Huskies are looking to make a perfect 3-0 record here at the Okawa Classic. Very different from last year when they went 0-3, but they had a much tougher schedule, losing to the likes of Moore Park College, Orange Coast College, and Palomar College. Palomar, another top team, usually in the 3C 2A. And the Huskies will have a couple weeks off before they begin conference play, or before they have another home game, correction. January 10th, a Friday, they'll host Long Beach City College. 3 more games before they do begin conference play here in the South Coast Conference. They'll kick things off with Rio Hondo College on January 24th. That's the first conference home game. And earlier today at the Okawa Classic, LA Mission defeated Palo Verde College 64-62. And Moore Park College defeated Skyline 70-58. On the entry pass to Palacios, and Palacios hits the baseline J. The Huskies led as much by 27. Bank there, a 3-pointer for Zuniga. First player other than Miracle Millinghouse, as you see the replay there. Shout out to Albert Robles. Her team celebrating from the bench. It's the first player not named Miracle Millinghouse to knock down a 3. Palacios try to respond with the three of her own. Ramos will chase down the long rebound. She's out there on the floor with Miracle Millinghouse, Oso Lopez, Kaden Seguchi, and Fernanda Zuniga. Miracle taking another three. She's been perfect from that range. 4 of 4 now. A few steps from beyond the three-point arc, as you see on the replay. But she's been money. They're going to need more of that as they enter conference play. Take on the likes of Mount Sac and Pasadena City, who are always top programs in the South Coast Conference. North section, Monique Lightfoot spinning to her left, can't get it to go. 8.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Millinghouse kicks it out to her teammate Lopez, now gets it to Ramos. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Seguchi now has it, gets a little bit of a bump there from Palacios, no foul called. No team fouls by any team this quarter. Off the strip there. 1 second left on the shot clock, so the Huskies are just gonna have to toss one up after the inbound. Let's see who Ramos gets it to. Curling there is Miracle, the floater too short. Monique Lightfoot will grab the rebound. Lightfoot has been kept in check. She's gonna take a three-pointer there, her first three-pointer of the evening. Now has 6 points, 1 of 9 shooting from the field. Coming into tonight's game, averaging 14 points per game on the season. Seguchi gets it to Ramos, out to Zuniga. She has Lightfoot on her. Ramos gets bumped there by Palacios, a tough closeout. That'll be the first team foul by either team this quarter. 7.5 minutes left to go in the third. Looks like Ramos might have got hit in the face as well as she holds her nose. Maybe some blood coming out.
Foul charge to the Wolverines, number 11, Marian Palacios, her second personal, first team foul.
So a little bit of blood coming out of the nose of Sarah Ramos as you have this break in the action. I want to say thank you to Corey Nalen, who was filling in the air during the halftime break. Talking 3C2A.
We'll see if we can't get Mark involved tomorrow. Hopefully they can figure out some of those technical difficulties, whatever they were. I think this, old man, new technology.
It's tough.
Is what it is.
Time's hard to figure out, but hopefully, yeah, tomorrow we get him on during the halftime break. Again, a 5 p.m. tip-off tomorrow, so a little bit different than the past 2 evenings. The Huskies will take on Palo Verde College. Palo Verde still searching for their first win of the Okawa Classic. They're 0 for 2 thus far. Checking into the game now is Olivia Paramo. She's on the floor now. Also Mariah Mosley checking in. Takes the long 2. Can't get it to go, and Monique Lightfoot chases down the rebound. Ooh, could have been a traveling there by Palacios. Wolverines catch a break. Palacios will throw it up off the glass, drawing the contact. They will have the chance of a 3-point play.
The basket is good. Foul is charged to the Huskies, number 1.
Good amount of fans in attendance here for San Bernardino Valley as you see the replay. 56-39 is the score.
Only took me, 3 quarters to get the replay figured out. Timing-wise, that is.
Better late than never.
It's a bit of a balance in terms of how fast this game can move and how much time I have to actually show off a clip. Figured it out.
Amaya Scott now on the floor with Derica Millinghouse. She gets it to her sister Miracle. Paramo off the deflection, misses her layup. And Mariah Mosley is the 5th Husky on the floor. Layup left hand, good to go. Again, Melendez leading the charge, 19 points. Leading all scorers here in this contest. Keeping the Wolverines somewhat in this. Huskies in search of win number 6 on the season. The offense has gone a little stagnant here in the third quarter. Amaya Scott here on the near side. Block gets it blocked by Lightfoot.
Looks like it's going to be out of bounds on Melendez. It should stay with East LA.
It's getting pretty loud over here next to the Wolverine bench. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Miracle Millinghouse takes the contested 2. Didn't hit rim. Derica grabbed the air ball and then went right back up with it. Her and Tiana Padilla were wrestling for it. They're going to call a jump ball violation. I thought that was going to be a shot clock violation because it didn't hit the rim.
It was shot clock. It was a shot clock violation, but I think immediately after that was a jump ball. I don't know. Let's see what official ruling is here. Not quite seeing it on these stats, but what it is.
Mosley with an acrobatic shot going to her left. Check out this replay there. Off balance, feet weren't set, but it doesn't matter. Sure, Dad will give her props for that one.
Like, next time, get your feet set.
So she'll go to the line for an old school 3-point play. It's a 16-point lead currently at the moment. For the ELAC Huskies, she leaves it short, but she grabs her own miss. Misses the runner. And it's Paramo who gets it to go on the right side. Paramo's that freshman from Pomona. Wolverines are trailing by 18. Paramo gets the block on the closeout, keeps it in bounds. A 4-on-2 fast break for the Huskies. Mosley takes the jumper, too strong. Lightfoot grabs the rebound. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Destiny Melendez racing down the court. Picks up the dribble, gets it stripped away. Some contact, but no foul called there. Good defense by the Huskies. Bit of a wild drive there by Jaques, and she's lucky to have that ball poked away. You can see Tamisa Martin checking into the game, a freshman from Cajon High School. Palacios gets it off the inbound. Lightfoot thought about the three-pointer, going baseline. Asia Harris just checked into the game for the Huskies as well. Jaques gets her first two-pointer of the evening. Mosley going baseline quickly. That's after a Wolverine miss. The Huskies were pushing the tempo. 60-44 is the score, advantage Huskies. Lightfoot going right at Asia Harris, and Harris sends it into the out-of-bounds area. Did they call a foul? They did. So Harris will get her first personal.
Second team foul. Substitution for the Wolverines, number 20.
Kasaya Harper will check in for the Wolverines. 2 free throws coming up for Monique Lightfoot. She only has 6 points on the evening, does have 11 rebounds and 3 assists. Shooting 2 of 10 from the field. One of those being a three-pointer. Again, 2 free throws for Monique Lightfoot, a sophomore from Corona Centennial. Knocks down the first. Missed on the second one. Asia Harris had a good box out positioning, and it's tipped out of bounds by Harper. So it'll stay Husky basketball. A little trouble on the inbound there, as Amaya Scott will have to go back and inbound it from the green. Just under 5 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Derica Millinghouse has possession. Dribbled off the foot. Didn't see who that was off of, but it's going to stay Husky basketball. A little bit of crowded there as Harper was guarding, and on the help, Palacios got a hand in on Harris. Maya Scott gets it to Derica. Using the body down low. Good physical play there. See the entry pass. She seals it, rolls towards the baseline, and uses the glass very efficiently there for 2. Always love when we have the replay in action. Palacios, baseline jumper here on the near side, no good. Paramo grabs the rebound, immediately trapped. It's one thing the Wolverines do well. apply some full court pressure after the in rebounds, and that one is lost by Amaya Scott. Couldn't handle a full court pass.
San Bernardino substitution into the game number 14.
Destiny Melendez is going to check back in. Again, she's the leading scorer for both teams. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 8 of 16 from the field. Playing with a lot of confidence.
And
True freshman.
She's really come to life here in the second half as well.
On the season, she's only averaging 8 points per game, which is 4th on the team. Right foot spinning towards the middle. Bit of a wild shot, and Harris grabs the board.
And the entire first half, she only had 9 points.
Scoring has come in bunches for the Wolverines and Destiny Melendez. Here's Harris, short on her fadeaway. The final quarter here of day 2. Huskies taking on the Wolverines of San Bernardino Valley. They're going to say a traveling violation on Keziah Harper. Looks like we're going to get a new player checking in for the first time, Alexa Jansen. Sarah Ramos going to check back in for the Huskies, as well as also Lopez. Amaya Scott will check out. Pass was intended for Asia Harris, and it's intercepted there. Wolverines can't convert on the layup. Out of bounds off the foot of Mariah Mosley. Good hustle again by Destiny Melendez.
And Tamisha Martin was really good on that fast break, but didn't put a whole lot of effort into that layup. Came up just short of the rim.
Off the inbound, Malik Lightfoot going to take another 3. She knocked down 1 in the third. Can't get that one to go. Also Lopez gets the long pass. An outlet pass made by Derica Millinghouse. We've seen her do that a couple times last night, too, in the victory over Skyline. She has great court vision. Leads the team with 5 assists on the season per game. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Asia Harris going to have to do something with it. Now 5 seconds. Can't graze the rim there, and it's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, just a bit offline left.
Seguchi will check back in, and you might have seen the last of Asia Harris here this evening. Leaving the game with 11 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of 16. She's had better evenings this season. Someone else stepped up, Miracle Millinghouse, the leading scorer for the Huskies with 18 points, 10 rebounds, also contributing 4 assists. Mariah Mosley coming up with the steal, using her speed, throws her body into Jaquez, and it's going to be a foul on Jaquez. There you see on the way up, Jaquez swiped at her right arm. A nice job by Mosley. She was on the left side of the rim, then crossed over to the right and really gave Jaquez no other option than to foul. 2 shots with 2:18 left in the fourth. And Mariah Mosley, the daughter of Coach Mosley, head coach of the men's basketball team here for the ELAC Huskies. That were featured quite some time ago now on The Last Chance U.
People always ask from time to time, when are you going to do another season? Not our call.
Not our call at all.
We would certainly love to see it here at sportsnetusa.net. I know East LA would certainly love to see it.
I would just love to see another season in general.
Yeah.
Because they were putting out every year, one season, they were following a few football teams out of the area. Then they did Laney College in Northern California. And the very next season, they responded with ELAC basketball during the 2019-20 season, but obviously that season was cut short due to the pandemic. They came and followed them during the 21-22 season, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, they haven't put out any other Last Chance U, regardless of the sport. But I do look forward to the next season they do put out. Millinghouse gets it to Sarah Ramos. Picks up her dribble, and it's a steal for Destiny Melendez. Loses the dribble a little bit, and so she'll have to pull it back for the Wolverines. Trapped at the left wing. Alexa throws up a shot there, no good by Jansen. 1.5 minutes left to go here in this one. 1.5 minutes away from head coach Bruce Turner clinching his 300th win as the head of the ELAC Huskies program. Mosley will take a three. She leaves it long.
And when you're up 17 with 1:17 left, in the words of Servant D. Haynes, pretty much all academic right about now.
You're going to see another substitution here as Lily Duran will check in. Checking out is Marianne Palacios. Waiting for who's going to check out because the sixth player came in and no one came out right away for the Wolverines. Long pass here to Martin. Martin. Ooh. Hits the hardwood. Looks like she's in some pain as well. Might have rolled an ankle or something. Derica Millinghouse by herself on the left side, and there's going to be an official timeout as Tamisa Martin still down on the floor.
Looking at Martin on the far side, I think she might have gotten like the wind slightly knocked out of her on the fall.
Mm-hmm. She was asking for some air, and looks like she's struggling to breathe right now. If you ever gotten hit right there in the chest in that windpipe area,
hurts.
man, it's scary because you do lose your breath for a solid like 2 seconds. You're taking these short gasps of air, so you're kind of panicking. Your body naturally panics, and then it makes it worse.
And it really was just kind of an awkward fall. Like, I didn't really see much of contact, if any contact, with Mariah Mosley. She was definitely in the area, and I think that with the positioning of Martin, she just kind of like turned a little bit awkwardly and just couldn't quite control like where her legs were actually going and kind of tripped up over herself.
Yeah, because she was looking over her left shoulder and like a receiver going for a back shoulder pass, but instead of fading back to her back shoulder, she rotated her head towards
like
the right.
She might have like clipped her own foot, which very easily to do when you're like trying to turn right, but you're looking left at the same time. It's not easy.
And she's being attended to by the training staff here at ELAC. And don't forget, day number 3 of the Okawa Classic starting tomorrow. Games at 1, 3, and 5 p.m. The 5 p.m. game will be the nightcap and the final game of the Okawa Classic between the Huskies and Palo Verde College.
And it looks like for Martin might be a bit of a knee injury. She's going to come off the field with some assistance from her teammates.
Yeah, not a good sign. She can't put any weight on her left leg.
You know, like we hate to speculate, but with that type of injury, with the non-contact, could be, you know, one of those soft tissue injuries.
Always tough to see as well. She's struggling to get off the floor. Again, hope she's okay and can resume play this season.
Yeah, Martin definitely doesn't want to test it, but we'll step away. We'll take a small break just for the moment as we get our players tended to. You're watching Husky basketball right here on SportsNetUSA.net.
It's the final minute of action here at the arena for day 2 of the Okawa Classic. Wolverines have the basketball on the inbound. Destiny Melendez out on the floor with Tiana Padilla. Oh, another collision there. Seguchi and Melendez hit the ground. Also on the floor is Lily Duran, Alexa Jansen, and Dominique Butler.
Yeah, Melendez took a little shot to the face. Caden Seguchi a little banged up as well, but both are up and about.
Always a good sign to see when both players pop up. Derica Millinghouse out on the floor with Sarah Ramos, Oso Lopez, Caden Seguchi, and Mariah Mosley. So a mixture of some starters as well as some bench players for the Huskies here in this final minute. Again, 30 seconds away from the 300th career victory for head coach Bruce Turner as head of the ELAC Huskies program. Derica Millinghouse driving towards the middle, gets it poked away, and Padilla comes away with the steal. Padilla to Melendez, trying to get 20 points on the evening, but she loses that one.
Yeah, just couldn't quite control the deep ball pass from Palacios. Unable to make the most of that possession.
The shot clock is turned off. They do have to get it over the timeline, but they can just dribble it out for their 6th win of the season. They'll be going for win number 7 tomorrow evening against Palo Verde College. Again, tip-off at 5 p.m. Of course, we want to say congratulations to head coach Bruce Turner, win number 300 here in his career at ELAC Huskies basketball program. For Corey Nalen, Albert Robles, I'm Noah Alvarez saying thank you for tuning in to day 2 of the Okawa Classic. Your Huskies come out victorious 66-49. Don't forget, you can catch the Huskies tomorrow at 5 p.m. as they take on Palo Verde.
In the meantime, Bob Robles, that's Noah Alvarez. You've been watching Husky basketball right here on SportsNetUSA.net. We'll see you tomorrow.